Well, in sales, why do people buy from you? Because they know, like, and trust you.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not know, like, and trust yourself, that will translate in a sale every time. They will not know, like, and trust you.
And in what ways would you illustrate that you are unliked? Like that you can
That you
tell
don't like
you don't.
yourself?
Yeah.
Man, you get up in the morning and you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see. You get up and you rush out the door. You don't like your routine. You don't like how you feel.
Yeah.
When you get to the office. You feel behind because you're 10 minutes late.
What's up? Welcome back to the CA Power Player Podcast. I'm your host, Cody Askins, and today I love having guests in town, but not only guests in town, guests that can walk across the hall from the Impact office, sit in the studio that I've known since I was 10 years old, 24 years. Dude's freaking super old.
Yeah. And yet you keep asking me to be on alumni basketball teams.
I know, bro.
Yeah.
I know. Dude, that was a blast, though. That was cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was.
It was so much fun. I'm excited for this interview. I've known this dude forever. He's a good dude, one of my best friends in the whole world. Would do anything for anyone. Huge heart, cares a ton. I got a bunch of illustrations of that, which we may share at some point during this episode. Who knows? But please welcome back. It's been years since he's been on. I think he was on an old audio-only episode called See the People, whatever the heck that was. But he's on Power Players today, one of the managing partners of Impact Legacy Group, Mr. Dallas Keithley. What's up, bro?
Thank you, man. I'm honored to be here. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man. It's
All
been
the kind words. Nice.
You know what's interesting is we've talked about having you on for a while, and Dylan's like, Dallas has had you on his podcast twice, and it has been a long time since he's been on this.
Somebody's keeping score.
Dylan has got your back.
Yeah.
It was not, Lindsay was like, that's a dumb idea, but Dylan was all aboard.
No, I'm keeping track.
That's right.
Christmas is coming.
I think there's a lot of ways we could go in this. You've been in a bunch of different businesses. You've been in around insurance for a very long time. I think, 20 something years, like very long time. What I really wanted to focus on is because you do Medicare seminars, you help new agents, you're involved in recruiting, like all different stuff. You mentioned a topic of helping agents respect themselves more in some different ways. What did you mean by that? I got a few ideas, but
yeah. Well, in sales, why do people buy from you? Because they know, like, and trust you.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not know, like, and trust yourself, that will translate in a sale every time. They will not know, like, and trust you.
And in what ways would you illustrate that you are unliked? Like that you can tell you don't.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Man, you get up in the morning and you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see. You get up and you rush out the door. You don't like your routine. You don't like how you feel.
Yeah.
When you get to the office, you feel behind because you're 10 minutes late.
Let's go back to
you don't like a lot of stuff about you.
I also did a recent interview and comments were complaining that I love to interrupt people. So I'm going to be better at that today. Dylan's laughing because he was rolling at this. He's like, I didn't really notice it, but it's just starting now. Because I've done it twice, by the way. You guys are keeping score, I'm sure. Personality, I can't help it. But you mentioned when you look in the mirror and you're not happy with who you see, or maybe the words that you're saying to yourself. Was there a moment in time where that was true for Dallas Keithley?
Yes. There's been a lot of moments.
Okay.
Now, there's I split this into two categories when it comes to yourself and liking yourself, the appearance of yourself. Okay. Me not liking myself because I'm bald is stupid. I mean, there's even a Bible verse that says, can a man add stature to his height by worrying about it? Can I grow more hair by worrying about it? No.
I think there's studies that women think bald men are sexier.
Well,
and here you are using it as an excuse.
That's another. Well, yeah. So like, okay, we did the basketball alumni tournament the other day, right?
Yep.
We took a big picture. I looked at it. The first thing I noticed, what does everybody see when they look at a picture? What
themselves.
They find themselves. Yeah. I looked at it and I'm like, good Lord, I am short, right? And literally that verse popped up in my head. Can a man change his stature 1 inch by worrying about it? No. So I divided into two groups, things that I can change and things that I can't change.
He also, for those that can't see him because he's not standing, I don't think you are. No, he's not standing.
Well,
That was
done.
good.
That was good.
That was good. He's
Yeah.
like 6'7". Okay,
Yeah,
he's
6'7".
fine.
I've always wanted to be 6'9". You know, no.
What are you like 5'9"?
Yeah, that's what I tell people.
5'8",
5'9", somewhere.
I
in
mean,
there,
the
depending
average
on the
male
shoes.
height is like 5'10".
In China.
No,
The,
I mean the average
Yeah,
male height
it's
in the
something like
U.S.
that.
This
But-
is funny. Funny. We never intended on this being a thing.
No,
Well,
we-
and tell them what we used to do together while I'm looking up the height thing real quick.
Oh, where are we going with this?
I don't know
The
yet.
fantasy football radio show.
Yeah.
It was never planned, but we have found that you and I do better when we don't plan.
True.
You know.
True. Well, we hosted that on a local ESPN station.
Yeah, for about 4 years.
For about 4 years.
And I
Yeah.
still have the banner hanging in my garage.
You still have about 400
Cups.
Cups.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
plastic cups too, which is
You're
with
great
the
at
logo on
talking,
it.
not so much marketing.
Look, average male height in the U.S. 5 feet 9
5
inches.
feet 9 inches. So
Bro,
average.
I
But
feel like Joe Rogan over here
when
looking stuff
you're-
up on the fly.
when you're on a basketball court,
Yeah.
that is not where you want to be.
I would
but,
agree.
You know, I look at that and I'm like, okay, so when I stand in front of the mirror, there's two categories: what I can change, what I
Yep.
can't change. Most people,
6'3".
yeah. See, there you go.
Oh, 6 foot. Average male height for an NBA player. Let's not do that. 'Cause then I'm gonna
Let's
feel
go
short.
at least
6 foot 6.5 inches.
Can we go G
6'7".
League at least
Jeez,
or
yeah.
something?
Wow.
Yeah. So most people spend time worrying about the things that they can't change.
Yep.
And that leads to stress. That leads to, just a bad day. But I do, and not to body shame anyone or anything like that.
Yep.
You asked, was there a time that I looked in the mirror? Somebody sent me a picture of myself and I was leaning back in a chair and I just see this gut hanging over my belt. And I'm like, Dallas, that's stupid. That's something you're worried about how tall you are, but you've got something you can change. And it's not just appearance.
Yeah.
It's how do I feel? How do I feel when I put on my clothes? How do I feel, when I look in a picture?
Yep.
How do I feel health-wise? My knees hurt, whatever. So that was something I could change.
I've seen you work out. You work out more than me now, for sure. There was a time where that wasn't true, but I would say
Yeah.
it's pretty close. When we travel, you work out more. I get to where I'm just playing basketball and doing some stretching and walking, and I'm kind of in this phase where I'm not like going as hard at working out as I did in 2023, where I was doing 100 push-ups a day and all this stuff. When is that where that came from? And how long have you been doing that? Like you work
Two
out?
things. Well, you got me
more.
going. You introduced me to Jimmy over at the personal trainer
Okay, cool.
over at AYB.
Jimmy Strong. Good
Jimmy
dude.
Strong, yeah. And it amazed me how a couple things, how hard it was to get going, but also at my age, I'm 46 now, how long it takes to get results.
I didn't know you were that freaking old.
I know. And then, but on the positive side, how much better I felt. Like when you come into the office after you've just put in a good hard hour, Chris Bryant, we were talking to him yesterday. He was saying, it turns, there's scientific facts. It turns your brain on. It gets oxygen flowing through your body. You feel like you've accomplished something. That's something Jimmy said all the time. You've already accomplished something today. It's 6:30 in the morning.
More
You've already
than
got something
most
done.
People in the world have
Yeah.
too.
And so anytime I can actively do something to separate myself and start my day off better, it really makes a difference, And so, but yes, to answer your question, there were times I look in the mirror and just even the appearance, I don't like what I see, so I'm going to do something about it.
Yeah.
But what you got to be careful of is you have to understand that you are a created being, created by a creator that does not make mistakes. So to look at the things that I can't change, that means that I am upset with him. And that is not a great way to start your day.
No.
But looking at things that I can change and saying, I really had struggled looking at it the wrong way for a long time because I would be very negative on myself, very hard on myself. But then I started looking at it as, okay, am I doing something about it? Am I where I want to be? No, right now I'm not where I want to be. I've still got some weight I want to lose. I want to get in better shape. About another probably 10 to 12 pounds.
Cool.
I don't care what my weight is. I look more at body mass but I hope I never get where I'm like, okay, I've reached it. I always want to have something to push towards.
Amen.
I
I think a lot of people too are naturally self-deprecating.
Yeah.
And there's a part of that is good. You're humble. You're vulnerable. You're not, you're not arrogant. You don't have an ego. You're not. But there's a lot of it that's bad. Like I've gotten better at being humble and vulnerable for sure. But I've never been someone that just like make fun of myself on purpose. And it used to irritate me when anybody else make fun of me. Yeah. Like, but there's different spectrums of that. What's your take?
Well, there's a big difference. You mentioned three things there: deprecation, humility, but I'm going to throw in contentment too, right?
Okay.
I just said I never want to be satisfied, but the Bible says godliness with contentment is great gain. So I want to be content. The way I kind of look at it, and I don't know if this is right or wrong, but this is how I look at it. I never want to be satisfied. I always want to be willing and able to do more, but I want to, at the end of the day, look back at the day with contentment. Say, okay, I did everything I could today to have a great day. I worked hard. I worked out. I loved my family. I walked with God, whatever. I want to look at that day and say, okay, I am content with the effort that I put in. I'm content with the things that I can't change. Not self-deprecating is never right? Because that's a negative headspace. But humility and contentment, we get those mixed up a lot.
How do you get out of a negative headspace? How have you done it over the years?
Well, again, that's a daily thing.
Because you're also naturally You're also naturally a funny person. Comedy is a part of your personality.
Yeah, that's true.
The self-deprecating can be even more when someone's like that.
Yep. I have to be very careful with that because I mask a lot of things with comedy. Robin Williams passed away. That really started me down a rabbit hole of looking into why he did what he did.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, if Robin Williams was sitting across the table and his best friend was interviewing him, he would say, "Man, dude, you're a funny guy. You're a positive guy. You're happy all the time." But dude was hurting inside, right? And so I have to be careful. I have to watch that. He took his own
life too.
Yeah, took his own life, man. And that's a dude. If you asked me before that, would you want to be Robin Williams? I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, yeah."
Yeah.
He's got money. He's got fame. He's funny. Like, dude is basically somebody I look up to, right? But so you have to be careful there. And I'm not saying I'm looking at taking my own life. Okay.
Right.
But
2014.
It's been 10 years.
Bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
he was.
There's a lot of instances like that. There's a lot of guys. Yeah. 63 years old. Sad story. Dang. But I'm bringing us down here.
I know. I'm supposed to be lifting you guys up.
Yeah. But a lot of times when you're a comedy guy, you mask a lot of stuff with that. And you ask me, how do you stay out of a negative headspace? The biggest thing, and I've started doing this with my kids, and I'm like, why am I not doing this? Gratitude, I heard this a long time ago, gratitude and negativity cannot coexist. So if I am in a negative space, I've got to start looking at what am I thankful for? What am I happy about? And I've got a ton, man. This weekend, full transparency, I was sitting there and man, I got into a negative place. Like I'm sitting there and I'm
at
like,
the game?
Gosh. No.
I'm like, bro, we won.
I know. No. Was sitting there and I'm like, man, I started letting, here's the thing. And I say that a lot. Here's the thing.
We all have our things.
The trying to figure out how deep I want to go into this because I started doing some reading.
Sure.
When you are, I'm a child of God. Okay, right?
Yeah.
That means
it's okay to go deep in that on this show, by the way.
Okay,
that's totally fine.
That means I believe the Bible's very clear that you cannot be possessed by a devil.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, I'm trying to decide how deep to go. However, you can be oppressed, and the number one way that the enemy oppresses us is through lies. And if he can get you to believe a lie about yourself, then you just take it from there and run. So that's what I was doing. I was sitting there and there was some things going on in my head and I'm thinking, man, with this person, this is going on, and with this person, this is going on, and with this person. And I kept thinking, because I've been on a journey of the only way I can fix something is fix me first. And I'm like, man, maybe I'm the reason that all these bad things are happening. And I failed this person here, and I failed this person here, and I failed this person here, and I failed this person here.
That's a little extreme.
Right? Yeah. But that's the path you go down. It doesn't start there, but that's the path you go down.
Correct.
So I had to get up.
It's like anything. It leads to something.
Yeah. So I had to get up, grab my journal, and start reading back through things I've been thankful for. And then take those same people and think, okay, but how have I helped them? How have I been grateful to them? And so then I went that route, and that really, really helped.
Yeah, there's tons of studies out there about the power of gratitude and how you should wake up. And one of the first things, like we have an 8% goal tracker on our store.codyaskins.com, I think, or you can message Abby. I don't know. But on that 8% goal tracker, we put, you need to list 3 things you're grateful for every single day before you write down your goals, because you are right. Gratefulness and negativity can't coexist. I'm either grateful or I'm negative.
Yeah.
And in 2024, leading into 2025, it has never been easier to be negative.
Yeah.
And to find negativity.
Well, man, you got social media that you can there. It's funny. There's always a path.
Yep.
Right. And you can choose. This morning, you and I got up and we both received a text. I don't know if you know which text I'm talking about.
I got a bunch, but we're going to wait and see. I do.
You do?
Yeah.
I went down a path with that. And by the time I got to the office, I was in a bad headspace.
Interesting.
The person that sent that did not intend for me to go down a bad headspace.
No.
And it was a simple question.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they must think this.
It's funny. You took it one way. Apparently I ignored it. So
yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying. When you wake up, I love what you said about you wake up and you get going. When you wake up, you can go down a path. There's the same, every person has the same opportunity, the same thoughts, the same stuff, but you can choose which path to go down. And when you choose to start it with gratitude, it's crazy. Like you think, oh, just this little turn on this path that's no big deal.
Yeah.
But man, where you end up is huge. It could be miles difference based on just that one little turn in the beginning, right?
It can affect a life and a career and a business so much.
Yeah.
You brought up social. So, and I made a couple, probably shouldn't, but my ADHD personality, crazy personality self is mentioned. I interrupt people when I interview them.
But you started to just then and you didn't. I saw it.
See?
Progress.
I'm growing.
And I just did it. So
thank you. But you know what's crazy is when people, I do that. So when people do it to me, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I'm just used to carrying a conversation and trying to like think quick and accomplish things, right? But we had an interview that has done great. 4,000 plus views, 5,000 plus views in several days. It's crushing it. But I got we've got like 100 comments, but I probably got like 10 or 15 comments already that are like, it's unwatchable because of how much I'm interviewing the guest. And that's how I woke up on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And I never read comments. Dylan reads, I'm going to give a little behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
Dylan handles YouTube comments. Abby handles my social media comments. And most messages, I do a little bit of Instagram messages, but she does most of it, right? I don't normally read YouTube comments because I know not to.
Well, I'm going to stop putting them on there then.
I'll read yours. I went down, and don't quit leaving comments, but I went down a rabbit hole. I started reading every comment and trying to respond to every comment. And before I knew it, I'm getting like pissed off, and I'm getting arrogant, and these things are happening, and I'm like, am I really sitting here on a Saturday morning responding to these freaking negative comments? And it's like, so I said, here's what I'll do. I'll go back and watch the episode, and I'll be the judge. And I'll just be honest with myself. And I went and I watched the first, it was an hour and a half, crazy. But I watched the first 20 minutes. Yeah. I interrupted like crazy, right? So it's justified. But why would I spend time on that? And then now but also we have the most popular podcast in the world of insurance. Like we've got over 300 episodes, hundreds of thousands of agents listening around the world. Why would I now change the way I interview just because 12 people didn't like it?
Right. There are 2 types of people in this world. People that want to see you succeed and people that do not want to see you succeed. We spend more time caring about the people that don't want to see us succeed and reading their comments and their, if your dad got on there and said, Cody, he wouldn't do this, he would approach you directly. But if he texted you and said, Cody,
he's not a keyboard warrior by any means.
Right. But if your dad got on there and he said, Cody, I just listened to your last interview and man, you really interrupted that guy a little bit. That you You go back, watch it, and you're like, Dad, I'm right. And you take that because you know he's got your best interest at heart.
Correct.
He wants to see you succeed.
Correct.
The other 12, just they look at your life, they get whatever, it's jealous or just that's just what makes them happy. There's some people that just enjoy tearing other people down. But man, I'm trying to think of a better way to say
and
this.
there was some that was probably just like my podcast and were just trying to be nicely honest with me too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the people that want to see me succeed, I've got to invest more in them though. I've got to listen to them.
You wanted
more.
to say that in a different way. I
did.
You chose not to. Look at you.
Yeah, we're growing.
We're all growing on today's
We're
podcast.
learning.
This is
Growing.
good.
Yeah.
You know, the grateful piece, going back to that for a second. I love about this is, I like about doing this with Dallas is we have so much history. We've known each other for almost 25 years. We can jump in and jump on video or a mic or in front of a room anywhere in the world and riff together better than any two people I know. Now,
Nice.
I'm sure there's two people that are like, they do that every day and it's like a part of it. You know, I don't know. But for us,
It's easy.
it's easy.
Yeah.
And we've traveled, 12 hours in cars together, like just crazy. The comedy gets old. No, I'm just kidding. But it's like long freaking trips, right? But the grateful thing, I have a tendency to be, I would say for years, and I've gotten better this year, and all the things we've done business-wise have helped, but I have a tendency to be very ungrateful for where we're at, unsatisfied, borderline. My personality wakes up like annoyed, and I've got a little bit of a, you know this, our audience should by now, an aggressive, very driven personality that's like, I've never accomplished a thing in my life and I'm a complete loser.
Yeah.
Clearly not, but like my personality just wants more.
You have trained yourself that that's how you get more, right? So you wake up and think, okay, I want more. So, and I'm bad about this too. Like I work out angry sometimes, just pissed off, you know, and I'm like looking in the mirror, like you and all this stuff. Yeah. And it really scares the other older ladies in the aerobics class. but I'll just,
That's good.
Like I work out angry and I'll get home and I'm just like, you know, and Lori's like, what is wrong with you? Why are you mad? And I'm like, I don't know. But we've trained ourselves that that's how I get a result is I get pissed off at myself. And therefore, because I'm pissed off, I'm going to act. And because I act, things happen.
Yeah.
Rather than I learned something from this, so I'm going to move forward. It's human nature. Like we all do.
Dude, it's, how does someone deal with that? Like, so here's for me, some of the things that I've tried to do is, number one, I've tried to realize how grateful we are, how much God has given us, because, you know, I mean, heck, you're a managing partner of a company that is going to do $10 million, right? That I'm also involved in, just not active in day to day. Also, you know, we won't hit 8 figures this year, high 7, but we may kaboom.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah, not with that attitude for sure. But we may next year, right? And it's like, dude, we've had I always wanted to speak and do conferences and build businesses, and like, I'm getting to live out my dream and do all those things.
Yeah.
But I'm annoyed and unhappy and like unsatisfied. I don't, you know, that's not the right move. And you know what's interesting is when business isn't going well, I wonder if people could tell with my content. You could tell for sure, but like I was unhappy last year with all the crap we were going through business-wise. It bled into my confidence, bled into my content, bled into my creativity, whatever, you know, everything else. And I didn't like that. And I've tried to just be happy and fun again.
Yeah.
You know?
It's making sure there is wanting more, there is contentment. And I think a lot of people, you and I mentioned Andy Elliott, right? A lot of people, before the interview, we were talking about Andy Elliott and his stuff that he does. And the dude is brash.
Oh,
like,
for sure. Yeah, when he spoke at our conference, he was very brash.
Like looked at people in the front row and said, if you would lose 100 pounds, you would have more sales and stuff like that. But then, and a lot of people did not like him.
I think that's fair.
But again, I actually kind of liked him. I'm like, fine, there's somebody that speaks directly, and you know, maybe it's that self-deprecation thing. Maybe I like this. I don't know.
Sure.
But I went and met him in the room. Nicest guy in the world.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And like hung out with us for a long time. His wife was really cool.
Yep.
You know, he was humble. He was
super impressive couple.
Yeah. And so I think a lot of people
They don't get to see him in the green room.
They don't get to see him back here. They just see this and they form an opinion on that.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So back to your point, one of the things that I heard him even speak on recently was, man, I've got to have my time, because if I don't, if I just wake up and bang, go, like you said, you wake off pissed and I'm a piece of crap and I'm going to dominate the day, right? Lauren's a lucky gal that day, right?
Super.
But if you wake up and you just have that time, I heard a long time ago, successful people wake up early. And I believe that with all my heart, because the early morning, I am worthless after 5 o'clock. I mean, worthless.
At night?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the morning, I'm more creative, all that stuff. But also, I make it a point. Rocky Garza, we had him on our podcast, Medicare Sales Playbook, here recently.
I didn't even say the host of Medicare Sales Playbook.
Right.
I should have led with that.
No, you're good. He said, I asked him, what 3 things do you get up and do every morning? He said, I've never met a millionaire that didn't do these 3 things. 1, do not hit the snooze ever. We talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I get up and I drink a big old glass of water because water starts your brain. It does all that stuff. And then I say my 3 affirmations. And if you've ever heard Rocky, he says, Rocky, you are a lot, something like this. You're a lot, but it's okay. And he just gets that, again, that positive trail.
It's cool.
So to answer your question, how do you want more but still be humble and all that? I think it's a very thin line.
Yep.
But I think it starts with just a moment of, okay, I want more.
Yep.
Here's what I'm grateful for, and go through. You mentioned everything you went through last year, right? And I got to kind of watch it from the sidelines. I see every day and all that stuff.
Yep.
And in the beginning, you can edit this out if you want to later. In the beginning, I worried about you because I saw frustration and anger, and I saw you trying to fix it on your own, which is what we are inclined to do, right?
Amen.
Something's wrong. I'm going to fix this.
Yep.
The second half, when we started seeing results, I saw you, I don't know if you even realized it or if you did it on purpose or what, step back and breathe. You listen to the counsel of other people. I saw you bring people in and listen. You didn't argue with them. And you tried to learn the lesson from your mistakes. And that's when it turns, man. Like if you go through something, the worst thing that can happen is you go through something bad and you don't learn from it. Because if you do, you are bound to repeat it.
You're right. That's a.
We kind of went ADHD there. I went off on a tangent.
No, but that's a social clip right there, dude. That's powerful. I'm serious. And two, people could say, well, you're not training me to sell insurance until you get your head right.
But that's what this is all about.
Correct.
If you do not respect yourself, if you're not a person, because I don't care if you're sitting over the phone selling, it comes through. If you're not confident,
100%.
You say, well, confidence comes from practice. And all. It does, but it also comes from, I'm confident in me. I know this product.
And phone sales is harder.
It is.
If people were like, I do phone sales. No. It's tougher.
It's a lot tougher. I hate phone sales. If I'm doing phone sales, I'm at least doing Zoom.
You're better at face-to-face.
Well, and you would think with a face like this, face made for radio, right, is the old adage.
No, we didn't have it on TV show.
Exactly. That's why we never got the call. And I apologize. No, but you would think, okay, this dude would use the phone, right? But when I can see people, I can read them.
Yeah.
I can see their facial expressions. I can see if they're interested, not interested. Are they sitting back in their chair? Are they up close? I can see all that. You and I made a lot of money selling face-to-face. I'll never forget. We were in Sleeper, Missouri. Remember this?
Yeah, I do. Automatically.
And there was a husband, wife, and her sister.
Yep.
You and I were set to make about, I don't know, maybe $500 in that house. We walked out making probably $4,000.
Probably like $7,000.
Yeah, because we kept asking them, what else do you have? What else do you have? What else do you have?
Yeah, it was Start with an R.
Yeah. He had, I'm scared to death of birds. Dude had 2 huge turkeys that walked around the front yard. That's all I remember.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that was
Wow.
But no,
But
it came from having confidence, being confident in your product, but asking the right questions. What else do you have? What else do you have? What else do you have?
And if we would have been in a negative, it's a good example. If we would have been in a negative place, we would have been frustrated, we'd have been pissed off, we'd have felt like things weren't going well.
Yeah.
We may
Love
have
how you're tying it all back together.
We may have just walked out after one
probably
sale.
would have. And we probably did that a lot of times. There's probably a lot of money we left on the table because we were not in the right place. So I would encourage people. One, again, not body shaming, but do something, right? Like look in the mirror, realize that it's not going to happen overnight. I think that's the number one reason people don't work out, because it's not a fast result. Mm-hmm. It's going to take a while. No fad diets work.
They're going to be they're told it's going to be fast.
Yeah.
It's a get rich quick scheme.
It is, but do something every day to get better physically. Read something every day. I believe that has helped me a ton. It really, you talk about resetting your mind. I'm reading the book right now. Chris Ball recommended it to us. Leaders Eat Last. Mm-hmm. Great stories in there, stuff like that. I have to have a story book, otherwise I'll lose interest. And then just the third thing to respect yourself is look at those that are in your life. Who cares about you? Who doesn't? Listen to those that care. What's another word for those that don't?
Constructively listen.
Constructively listen to those that care, but the ones that don't care about you, man, get them out of your life. Like,
it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
If they want to learn more about you, what should they do? Where should they go?
Dallas.Keithley, impactlegacygroup.com. That's the email. Medicare Sales Playbook is probably where I'm at the most. Medicare Sales Playbook on YouTube, all that stuff.
Yep. Different podcasts. How many episodes have you done now?
We're probably in
40?
Recorded. We're
50?
in the 40s.
Yeah.
I think we've released 30 something. Yours comes out next week.
No.
This week.
This Thursday.
Yeah, it's Thursday. Yeah. Shoot. I'm in last week.
When's this dropping, Dylan? We're still recording, but when's this dropping?
If it does, right?
You know what? Maybe he drops it tomorrow, and then the podcast is the day after that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Thursday. Yours come out. Your dad came out last week. Man,
cool.
Talk about a powerful episode on network building. Good stuff.
He's phenomenal at that.
Yep.
Well, dude, I appreciate you. Also, I truly believe this has been one of the most valuable episodes we've ever done.
Well, thank you.
For someone that needs to be more grateful, have more fun, be in a better headspace, not talk so negatively about themselves, not listen to all the hate and negativity and jealousy that they're getting in their life. Very powerful episode. So thank you for being back.
Yeah.
And
it's good.
First appearance on the Power Player podcast.
Nice. Good stuff.
You the man. Okay. Also, thank you guys for hanging with us and listening. I would love to know what did you enjoy the most? Like, what stuck with you that Dallas shared that you believe will help you be a better human being after today's episode? Throw that in the comments below. As always, we appreciate you listening. And if you haven't tried our leads at CABOOMLeads.com, you can use coupon code YouTube to get 10% off your very first order at CABOOMLeads.com. We appreciate you listening, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye.